So lads, this is not a great look for the Indiana Fever organization. If you've got CaitlinClark, the star of the Indiana Fever, she's going and seeing whatever about not seeing the Indiana Fever's doctors. Like, it is what it is with that. It is what it is. Like, I think a lot of players and teams get second opinions. But if you haven't seen here, Stephanie White says there's no update CaitlinClark or potential timeline. She met with another doctor, but White says she hasn't spoken with the trainers.
The superstar, who reignited basketball in Indiana, just sent the boldest message in WNBA history without uttering a single word. CaitlinClark, the undeniable face of women's basketball, and the player who packs arenas like a Taylor Swift tour, has reportedly gone silent on the Indiana Fever's medical staff following her recent groin injury.
Pretty much kind of leaked out the bag to the team that she was kind of going to get a second opinion. To me, an athlete like CaitlinClark from her level, she should have been getting these second opinions. She should have been hearing from all these other doctors, man. But Stephanie White spoke to the media yesterday. She really didn't give a whole lot, but she did say that CaitlinClark was in New York meeting with other doctors. Now, with all of that being said, what does the timetable look like to me for CaitlinClark coming back? I keep telling y'all, around the 17th to the 30th of August.
Honestly, it's long overdue for someone to call out this organization for treating their once-in-a-generation star like a background character in someone else's script. Here's the real story unfolding inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse and why CaitlinClark could be plotting her exit from Indiana sooner than anyone imagined.
She has met with a different doctor, and she won't even give an update to the team. Not, oh yeah, she's met with a different doctor and we're waiting on an update.
Make sure to subscribe. When CaitlinClark hobbled off the court on July 15th against the Connecticut Sun, clutching her right groin in clear frustration, it wasn't just another injury, it was the tipping point. According to sources, this is shaping up to be a Kawhi Leonard-type scenario, where a franchise superstar completely loses trust in her team's medical staff.
News: CaitlinClark. Following a July 15th injury to her right groin, Indiana Fever guard CaitlinClark underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week. The team can confirm that the priority on her long-term health and well-being. There is no timetable available for Clark's return, and no additional details will be provided at this time. Any further updates will be shared as they become available.
Clark has now endured 4 different muscle injuries this season: a left groin strain, a left quadriceps issue, and now a right groin strain. For a player who never missed a single game due to injury during her entire college career at Iowa, or in her rookie WNBA season, this string of setbacks isn't just bad luck, it's a glaring sign of possible medical mismanagement.
But the internet noticed something specific that Holly Rowe had to say on the broadcast. Holly Rowe said that Caitlin had gone full speed in practice, but there was only one practice.
The tipping point came when Clark was hurried back from her earlier groin injury, only to suffer a re-aggravation just a few games later. Sources close to the situation revealed that Clark told team officials, "I'm getting my own doctors. I'm not using ours." She's since consulted with outside specialists and has cut off updates to the team's training staff entirely.
CaitlinClark's team has made it known we are going to be holding her out until she is fully recovered. We are not going to be rushing her back at all. After taking Indiana Fever's advice, eventually CaitlinClark needs to take matters into her own hand, make decisions for herself, and I believe that's what we are seeing with the team that she now has surrounding her.
Here are the facts. The Indiana Fever would rather keep quiet. CaitlinClark's injury timeline is a medical nightmare. On May 3rd, she sat out the exhibition opener with left leg soreness. By May 26th, she missed the first game of her career due to a left quad strain. In June, a left groin injury sidelined her for 5 more games. Then, on July 15th, she went down with a right groin injury in the closing minutes against the Connecticut Sun. Finally, it's on July 24th, the Fever announced there's no timetable for her returning and offered 0 additional details. That's 11 regular season games missed, plus the Commissioner's Cup final. For perspective, it's almost half the WNBA season lost to recurring soft tissue injuries. Injuries that should be preventable with proper conditioning and competent medical care.
The people are speculating that CaitlinClark injury could be much worse than expected. You know, these type of injuries and the way she's been getting these injuries is not normal. To have these strains back to back to back like this, and I said this before, CaitlinClark's mobility is off, bro. I believe she might have came back too fast on the first. We all know the first one went down around the 25th of May. Then she came back, got re-injured around the 4th of July to the 5th, somewhere up in there of July. Then that brings us until now.
Here's where things get even more revealing. Clark reportedly sought second opinions in New York, without sharing the results with the Fever's medical staff. Coach Stephanie White even admitted she hasn't spoken to the trainers about what Clark's outside doctors found. When your franchise player is going rogue on medical decisions, it's no longer just about an injury, it's about a total collapse of trust. When the Fever brought in Stephanie White, and fans believed they were getting a major upgrade over Christie. Sides. White's resume spoke for itself. 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year. A championship ring as a Fever player, and a reputation for understanding what it takes to win. Instead, what they've gotten is a coach seemingly intent on fixing things that were never broken in the first place.
The only good news about today is CaitlinClark is no longer dealing with Stephanie White and these coaches and this Indiana Fever medical staff, trainers, doctors, none of that. She's seeing her own medical doctors, her own team. That's the only good news of today. She has abandoned the Indiana Fever medical staff, and I'm happy about it. She's pulling a Kawhi Leonard, what he did with the San Antonio Spurs, letting it be known, hey, look, I'll get back to y'all when I'm ready. I'm going with my own medical staff. Y'all can beat it, kick rocks, and I stand with you, Caitlin.
Here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to say out loud. Christie Sides knew how to maximize CaitlinClark. Say what you will about Sides' other shortcomings as a coach, but she understood one core principle when you have a generational talent: you build the system around them. You don't force them to fit into yours. Sides, let Clark be Clark. She gave her the ball, allowed her to control the pace, and watched the magic unfold. The result? A rookie season that shattered multiple WNBA records. The Fever's first playoff appearance since 2016, and sold out arenas everywhere they played. Now, contrast that with Stephanie White's recent comments about wanting Clark to play off the ball and splitting lead guard duties between two ball handlers. That's a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes Clark great. You don't take the ball out of Magic Johnson's hands because defenses are pressuring him. You don't bench Michael Jordan because he's being double-teamed. You sure? As hell, don't turn CaitlinClark into a role player just because your system can't accommodate greatness.
The problem of this team is Stephanie White. It's Stephanie White. It's not CaitlinClark. A great player don't all suddenly sucks. That doesn't happen. Actually, even this loss, CaitlinClark isn't a better chance. You're under 500 without CaitlinClark.
The clearest sign of Clark's growing frustration came after the Fever's July 22nd loss to the New York Liberty. Photos emerged of Clark and her agent in what appeared to be a private meeting with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello and stars Brina Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu in the tunnel at Barclays Center. This wasn't a casual post-game chat when your agent is in the room with another team's coach and franchise players. It's a business conversation about your future. The message was obvious. While the Fever fumbled their generational star, the Liberty were laying the groundwork for a potential move. Multiple sources confirmed that Clark has effectively cut ties with the Fever's medical staff, opting instead for her own team of doctors, just consulting specialists in New York, and keeping all findings away from Indiana's trainers. This kind of medical rebellion is virtually... Clark misses is one step closer to her inevitable exit, and make no mistake, other teams are already preparing for that moment. They have championship-level rosters, proven coaching, and organizations that actually know how to maximize a superstar's talent. Most importantly, they wouldn't waste Clark's prime years trying to force...
It's the New York Liberty.
I think there is a 50-50 chance CaitlinClark leaves Indiana after.
Disrespect. It began when the team rushed her back from previous injuries and has continued with a coaching staff that clearly doesn't know how to maximize her talent. When a player of Clark's caliber loses faith in her organization's most basic responsibilities, keeping her healthy and putting her in a position to succeed, that's not a minor disagreement. That's a fundamental breakdown. The Fever are so locked into their systems and protocols that they've forgotten the cardinal rule of professional sports. When you have a once-in-a-generation star, you do everything to keep them happy and healthy.
Quote, "This is the first time I haven't felt like a young body that can run around and sprint every day and just continue to do that," Clark said in an event during All-Star Weekend.
Build around CaitlinClark the right way, or watch her take her talent somewhere that will, because right now, the Fever are doing everything possible to push away the best thing that's ever happened to their franchise. Clock is ticking, and CaitlinClark's patience has officially run out.